Hello and welcome. Thank you for viewing this educational segment presented by Buying Behavior Metrics. I'm your host, Martin Smith, author of The New Exhibitor and the new Lean Six Sigma Orange Belt for Exhibitors. These and other exhibiting tools are available on our website at bbmgo.com. Please go to the site and make use of the tools. You will find them to be extremely valuable in implementing and improving your exhibiting and event purchase experience. Welcome. In this lesson, I'll introduce another tool that is relevant to the define phase of the DMAIC process. But before I jump in, I want to make sure that you're using the tools you've been exposed to from the previous lessons. Hopefully, by now you've started a question map and are trying to get down to the root questions. This will reveal issues that are really plaguing your business and exhibiting space. With the issues in hand, you should follow up with a migration plan charting out where you are and where you want to be in your dream space. Imagine that you have a magic wand and could make your exhibit any way possible. What would it look like? What would it function like? Once you identify your to-be state, start plotting out the resources you need and the steps to get there. And finally, by now you should have been using your key learnings document to write down everything you're learning along the way. Be punctilious. Take notes about the things you're learning from these lessons, and especially the things you're learning at your events. That said, this lesson introduces the process map and value stream charts, so let's get started. In order to hear the voice of the process and start to look at the wastes and steps that cause variation in the systems, it's time to introduce a tool that maps out the steps and activities of the system. Since Lean Six Sigma is for the entire organization and not solely for manufacturing or operations, every process needs to be addressed. Process mapping starts at the high or macro level of definition and migrates down into macro processes. It assigns ownership, creates responsibility for the process owners who control them, and measures the performance of every process step. A process, by definition, is a set of ordered action steps with inputs that lead to outputs or resultants. Throughout the business, goals and objectives are achieved through process steps. For example, pricing, while transactional in nature, is ultimately driven by a series of process steps where inputs like current market supply-demand conditions, price of similar products or service offerings, costs of raw materials and production, charges for logistics, fees for shipping, etc., are all evaluated. Ultimately, these inputs lead to an output, and a price sheet or model is developed. Processes are managed to control what the customer, whether internal or external, receives or comes in contact with before, during, and after the show. Project management starts by laying out the steps using a value stream assessment table. This is a table that defines what value streams are used with the different phases of the purchase experience process. These value stream activities are matched to the specific phases of the purchase experience activities for the booth space. For example, the first step is the consumer becomes aware of the business by stopping by the booth. This awareness might be accomplished by providing some information to the target attendee about who the exhibitor is and what the benefits of the offering are. This might happen using a live presentation with samples or even signage. So awareness building may be the first macro process management step for the exhibitor. Key measurements might include the stop-by rates, meaning the percentage of attendees who stop by the booth compared to the number that pass by the booth. This stop-by could include seeing the signage or watching a presentation or just having someone stop you in the aisle and tell you about their business. For example, what makes them the greatest meeting signs on earth? Of course, this is only the beginning, and every exhibitor desires their target attendees to go from awareness to consideration to preference and ultimately to conversion to loyal advocates for the company where they buy their product or service offerings. They would ultimately love this cycle to repeat in a never-ending process so that they don't lose customers and that they stay in business. So Lean Six Sigma exhibitors use this standard high-level map to express the iterative process using numbered boxes to identify the phases. Meaning 100 level boxes represent awareness phase processes, 200 consideration, 300 preference, and 400 conversion, as you can see here. That way, as they dig deeper into a specific area, the numbers are coordinated against the higher level process map. So in this example, they're doing an awareness campaign around a cookie package brochure giveaway, and so all of the numbered boxes are in the 100 range. But you can see they're arranged in order sequentially. Also note in this example that the inputs from suppliers in this example are in ovals and the steps are in boxes. As you can see, the process steps are captured as the target attendee experiences them, and they are measured through the customer's perception of the process using metrics that are attendee focused. These are then placed on the process map, the X's representing inputs or factors and the Y's representing outputs or resultants. This is how Lean Six Sigma exhibitors measure their own performance, because they bend the way they perform their processes to meet their target attendee needs. After all, it's the attendee that is paying their bills and their salaries. In the 4 macro process map phases above, each of these phases may have 2, 20, or even hundreds of micro or sub-process steps. These microprocess steps may operate in series or parallel or both. Other functions such as builders, setup crews, carpenters, freight crews, booth demonstrators, presenters, staff, technicians, sales, and finance, they're all intertwined with the process and the sub-processes steps to achieve an end result. Process maps are ultimately living knowledge documents which should grow and evolve over time. But make sure they capture what is actually happening instead of what's supposed to happen or what you wish would happen. This is vital because you will need these process maps to have integrity when you go to use them for other tools down the road, like the SIPOC and the value stream map, which will be explained in later lessons. For now, congratulations on completing this lesson. Just like the other tools, there are free examples available on the website, so please take advantage of that. And don't forget to update your question maps, migration plans, and of course your key learnings. But go out and start mapping your processes today. In conclusion, allow me to thank you for your time in reviewing this material and for your interest in buying behavior metrics. It is our sincere desire to provide valuable offerings to help exhibitors create worthwhile purchase experiences and ultimately maximize their ROI. Please go to our website and explore all the online tools available at bbmgo.com. Thank you.